Oh, yeah, Xnellers. No limit here. Yeah. Xnellers, 42.2 alternative center back. As John Lennon's singing, "The war is over." Yeah. It's over 5 rounds. It was me as the Allies, and Schultze as the Axis powers. Oh, yeah, give us an applause. It was a good game. It was fun too. Yeah, so after Russia's turn, when they got rid of that force in Belarusia, that huge juggernaut force, I forgot what did they do. What did they lose? I got it wrote down somewhere. Yeah, let's see. Russia came in with about 19 tanks, a couple infantry, 12 artilleries, a bomber, and a fighter. Against Germany's 12 tanks, 12 infantry, artillery, 2 fighters, and 2 AA guns. And after all that, I survived with 8 Russian T-34s. Ugh. Even though the battle didn't go quite as well as I wanted it to. I mean, I was getting below average hits. Schulze's Germans were getting just slightly above average hits. Oh, you saw that I was ranting a little bit. About 3 rounds of combat. But my hard hitters won out. I just have too many hard hitters. I had about 21 hard hitters, and Schultze had about only 12 hard hitters. So we talked about. We agreed to just call the game, and so Schultze surrendered. Yeah, I think he just wants to surrender because he wants to get to the other game, actually. And we're currently going through a YouTube war game with him and me and Crocker 36. We're doing the revised edition of My House Rules. It's currently going. China already had her turn. Croc's going to upload his turn tonight. After that, I'll have my Russian turn. So I think that's why Schultze really didn't want to play this game no more, even though it did look bad for the Germans. But Japan was doing pretty good. I mean, they would eventually had this side of the Pacific, Siberia, and you would eventually gotten India, no doubt. But by the time he does that, Germany would have been so decimated and boxed in, it wouldn't have mattered. Of course, him losing 3 transports early to a single fighter didn't help any either. Probably held him up about a round or 2. Otherwise, India would be more in trouble than they are now. But I would have made him pay dearly for taking India. He would have eventually got it, but at a great cost to him. And by the time we did, Germany would have been too boxed in. And you see all those aircrafts that Germany has. That's why I swung my Pacific Fleet under the Horn in South America and eventually got to season 113 because my British fleet wasn't going to survive that counterattack from Germany. So that's why I brought them over. Brought the United States Navy over. I was thinking of just stationing them in the Pacific to make the Japanese honest, but UK was in trouble with their fleet, so I had to bring it swinging over. So both our fleets are in 113 and all that stuff. All that stuff in Gibraltar, I would have built up in London. I was coming with tons of fighters. Fighters galore for the Americans. Oh, it was a great war. I mean, Schultze was scaring me for a little bit there. But And so we agreed to call the game. We're going to have a rematch. Well, not even a rematch. We're going to switch sides next time. I don't know when. But that's going to be great. I'm going to be the Axis this time. He'll be the Allies. He'll steal some of my ideas. I mean, Chelsea's not used to this version. He hasn't played it in a while. I don't play too much of this version here, but I played it more than him in the past 2 years at least. I mean my first game on the regular setup of the 42.2, I lost to Sunny Niu and Warpig because I did the mistake of splitting my American forces in the Pacific and the Atlantic. And that's a no-no. So they eventually beat me in that game. So I learned my lesson. So you always gotta go kill Germany first strategy in this version, and most other strategies too. And you saw me, Schulze, Kleg's, and Clegg's game before. They did Japanese kill first, and it worked for them. But we made a couple of mistakes. I built a industrial complex in East Indies. I was too cocky. I didn't think they'd do this Pacific fleet, the Pacific strategy first with their allies. And with Schulze's Germany in that game, he lost big on the Battle of Moscow. He probably should have held off on it. Otherwise, without those two mistakes, the game would have still continued right now, as we speak right now. But Clegg and Pilot earned their victory. We're going to have a rematch in that game eventually in a few weeks. We want a rematch, Pilot, Clegg. We think we can beat you this time. Try your Pacific Fleet first strategy. Against the Axis. We dare you. And me and Schulze are going to play this another one of these alternative setup. It was great fun. I think the alternative setup gives the Axis a fighting chance, because otherwise it's pretty much an Axis favorite the regular way. So hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned. Let's see. Give me a few seconds there. If you look underneath what I have on this map, I have a map down there of the G40 map. Play my revised house rules in that game. And as I say, we're waiting. Let's see, China goes first in that game, and they just had their turn, and Croc's going to upload his German turn tonight. So stay tuned for that, and we hope you enjoyed that. So, goodbye to all, and no limit out!